You are watching OpenLine. We're glad you're back with us. I'm Chuck Long here with attorney Kevin Kennedy. We appreciate all the calls. So many calls coming in this evening. A wide variety of topics that you're asking about. If you do have a question, we don't have a lot of time left, but make sure you do get online with us so we can get you in line. 737-7587 is the number to call for that free legal advice. So we are going back to the lines right now, though.
Hit 'em.
We appreciate Anthony calling in this evening. Anthony, we appreciate your patience. We appreciate your call. And do you have a question or a comment for Kevin? Can you hear us, Anthony?
Yes.
Okay, you're on.
Okay, thank you.
What's your question, Anthony?
Yes. Yeah, I have a question about, I work with the school board.
And Anthony, I'm just
Hello?
going to kind of interrupt you. It'll be easy if you mute your television while you're asking that question because I can kind of hear that television in the background. I know that makes it complicated.
Just turn it down.
Yep.
Okay. Hello?
Yes.
Okay,
Go
go
ahead with
ahead.
your question, Anthony.
Okay, I got a question about the school board. How old do you have to be to retire from the school board?
Well, the school board, every county has their own policies and procedures. So again, you'd look to that county, see how they're funded, what are the rules and regulations that controls your individual county. And so every school board has a county attorney, a school board attorney, and you can ask. Lawyers are supposed to shoot straight with you. It's unethical for them to mislead you. So it doesn't hurt to call and ask those questions.
All right. So, Anthony, we appreciate the call this evening. We are back to the lines right now. Janice is on the line with us. Janice, we're glad you called back. Do you have a question or comment now?
Yes, Kevin, my daughter had an accident about 10 years ago in 2008 before she had insurance on the vehicle. We have been paying, and we went to court and got a judgment that we should pay $5,500, I guess, to the company of the insurer
Right.
that we hit. So, we've been trying to reach out to them maybe like the last year or so about maybe getting a statement to tell us where we are as far as paying this debt because it's been about 10 years now.
I'm with you.
And we can't get anybody on the line to speak to them for
Yes.
them to send us anything, letting us know what we owe them or anything. Should we go back to court about it, or what
That's a
should we
good
do?
question. Here's what happens, what Chuck and I were talking about during the break. You get this understanding there's $6,000, so we pay $50 a month. 10 years later, how much do we owe? $8,000. They said, well, you didn't pay the interest. Well, y'all didn't tell us that. Judgments carry post-judgment interest. So again, this sounds like it could have been a classic case that you could have went to a lawyer, filed bankruptcy, and it would have been over with. Now that we paid to try to pay it off, it's always good to keep a pulse all along. Keep your documentation. They said we owe $3,000, we owe $2,000, we owe $1,500, and sometimes you're better off when it got down to $1,000, borrow the $1,000 and send it paid in full. And see, what we run into as lawyers, they'll sell this note to another company and they come back and try to collect what we've already paid. So keep your receipts, whether it's money orders, and probably, I feel pretty confident they probably will not bring a lawsuit again on that.
We appreciate you calling in this evening, Janice, and I hope that helps. All right, we're back to the lines right now. So George is on the line with us. George, good evening, and do you have a question or a comment for Kevin? Can you hear us, George?
Yes, I'm on. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, George.
Okay, I got a unique situation here.
Hit it.
I'm 79 years old. I got divorced from this lady some time back. And when I got divorced, I had a family heirloom inducting my great-grandfather into the Masons as a charter member in this country.
All right.
And it was, I have the plaque, I had the plaque and the actual signature. And at that time, my great-grandfather's name was Reuben A. Ginn. My name is George Ginn. And the man that signed him into the Masons as a charter member was the governor of the territory of the Carolinas of this country.
Wow.
The Carolinas at that time was from the Mississippi to the Atlantic, and as I'm sure y'all know, from the colonies to the Gulf. Well, this guy named Button Gwinnett had signed this, inducting my great-grandfather into the Masons.
So did the ex-wife get it?
Well, here's what happened. For a while, I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. The last member of my family died, and I was the sole heir. And I got founded in her house, and I rode it around in a pickup truck with me for a couple of years. Showed it off every once in a while, but nobody ever said nothing about it. Anyway, I got divorced, and I was getting divorced, and I asked her, because I gave it to her mother to keep for me, because I have no elder.
And so she's never given it to you, has she, George?
Well, let me tell you what's up. I asked for it 3 or 4 times. Well, we can't find it.
I knew that was coming.
Well, just a very few years ago, I'm sitting there reading the Arkansas Gazette, and I see where that only the third known signature of this guy Button Gwinnett sold at Sotheby's today for $240,000.
Wow.
And at that time, I lost the house because I couldn't make $108 a month house note.
All right, I'm going to address your situation. You've heard the old legal maxim that says possession is 9/10 of the law. So when you get ready and have a divorce, get your property out. You beg for a misunderstanding if you leave your personal property with anyone other than yourself. So they're going now what you've got, if they took it and sold it and you can trace it back, you've got fraud. And you can bring a charge against them for fraud. It's both criminal and civil. You know, if I left my gun at Chuck's and Chuck's, I can't find it, and then it's on eBay and Chuck sold it, we can trace that Chuck had knowingly, intentionally, and willfully sold property that he did not own. It's a crime against the state, and I am the victim. The district attorney can prosecute your same situation.
All right, good to know. Thanks for the call, George. We'll take a short break. We'll be back and we'll wrap it up here on Open Line.